And while the politicians and the media seem to have caught election fever, voters themselves don't seem to have caught the bug. At the last general election, more than 2 million Londoners didn't vote. So what's on offer this time around that could encourage them? In the first of our series looking at apathy, our senior correspondent Ron K. Phillips went out on the campaign trail with 3 people who can vote but won't vote.
All Londoners and all so disconnected from politics, they say that come May the 7th, they do not plan to vote. Zabila Yamin has fallen out of love with the Labour Party and calls herself politically disillusioned. John Watts is frustrated with all political parties and plans to mark his ballot paper none of the above. An Indian immigrant, Darshana, says she feels no one represents her views or interests.
Unless your vote's going to count, it really, I feel at this point, I don't know whether I'm going to vote.
The whole system to me seems to be rotten. And the main actual emotions and feelings I have about it is frustration.
I feel a bit disappointed in myself that I'm not taking the right to vote, but they just make me feel like I just don't want to.
All deeply sceptical but also open to persuasion. Travelling in our election taxi, the no voters joined UKIP candidate Keith Fraser on the campaign trail to see if he could impress them enough to use their votes.
I'm a frustrated voter as well, and that's why I'm standing for UKIP, so I'm hoping I'm going to be able to change your mind.
And the day after his party launched its manifesto with the message that it is not anti-immigration, the first stop at Turkish barbers.
We as a party believe in positive immigration, OK? And we want to applaud people like you, hard-working people who actually give to the country.
What about our 3 people that have been following you around today? How persuasive do you think you've been towards them?
Well, I'd love to feel I could read minds. I'm no Uri Geller, but, you'll have to ask them.
What was really interesting right now in what Keith just said was that they're for positive immigration and they really believe in it.
What do you think of what you just heard?
Not much at all. I see it seems the same old rubbish that you get from UKIP.
I'm a straightforward person.
Moments later, a member of the public who is on disability benefits challenges the UKIP candidate.
I used to get 400.
And the differences between the no voters surfaces.
How are you going to charge someone for having a spare room or kick them out of their house because they've got all their children have left and what, you're 80 years old, you've got a spare room in your council flat and you've got to pay for it? That's ridiculous. They started the day feeling alienated from politics and frustrated by politicians and their messages. So after a day watching the UKIP candidate canvass the people of Hackney, are they more or less likely to use their vote? After listening to this candidate, I'm inclined to vote a little bit, and for that I give him a 2.
My probability of voting has gone up from a 2 to an 8.
Now it's actually gone up to a 10 as long as it's against any candidate that's standing for UKIP.
So from alienated to opinionated, and as May the 7th approaches, the no voters may find they are inspired after all. Ron K. Phillips, ITV News.
And over the coming weeks, we'll be taking our non-voters out to see what the other parties have to offer as well.